Hi, I'm Angelina. I'm a perinatal psychotherapist and I specialize in perinatal trauma. The perinatal period is a time that covers pregnancy, birth, and early postpartum. So we typically think the first 12 months or so, although in practice, I definitely have parents come and reach out to me way past that 12-month mark. When we think about perinatal trauma, what often comes up for people are things like medical emergencies, medical complexities, losses. So, all of those really frightening and tragic experiences. But actually, where so much of perinatal trauma goes amiss and goes undetected is when, on paper at least, things seem to have gone quite straightforward. You have a healthy parent, you have a healthy baby, but actually how the person experienced it was actually quite distressing. So it's not really what happens to us, it's how our bodies and we and our nervous systems experience the event. So anything that felt quite out of control, where we felt quite powerless, like we didn't have a voice, where we weren't listened to, where things felt like things were just being done to us rather than with us, and just generally feeling quite overwhelming at the time, could absolutely cause trauma. How perinatal trauma might show up day to day could look different from person to person. So some people might experience maybe a more obvious symptoms like flashbacks, nightmares, intrusive memories about that event, feel very dissociated or disconnected from themselves, their body, their baby, could be very obviously avoiding anything and everything that reminds them of their pregnancy or birth, for example. But perinatal trauma can also show up very, very subtly. And I think, especially in those cases where, again, on paper, things would have looked quite straightforward, but the person would have experienced it. It's quite distressing. And especially where in our society, we tend to often normalize these experiences as well and kind of sweep them under the rug, often say things like, focus on your healthy baby, that's what matters, that's all that's important. Um, but often I have moms and birthing people come and explain and describe themselves feeling really anxious, just feeling constantly on edge, like they can't relax, like they're waiting for the other shoe to drop. They might have intrusive thoughts about something going wrong with their baby, or health worries and anxieties about their own health or their baby's health that are not fleeting. They're just really sticky and can't be easily dismissed. People also often describe feeling a deep sense of failure, like they themselves or their bodies has failed them or their babies, and there's a lot of guilt and shame around that. People also describe very much feeling love for their baby, but feeling like there's a level of emotional disconnect, and have trouble really connecting with other people as well, just being social, letting go, feeling a bit carefree. And there's a lot of difficulties around feeling quite isolated and alienated as well. You can find yourself quite tearful. It feels like anytime you touch on those experiences, just bring up a whole lot of emotion that feels really out of control for you. And you might feel like you keep talking about those experiences, but maybe not necessarily getting anywhere, like things are not getting resolved or you're not kind of moving forward. So feeling like a little bit stuck. And the impact of perinatal trauma definitely impacts relationships a lot. Like I'd mentioned, there's a real sense of feeling quite alienated and really different to other parents, feeling really alone. It can definitely knock your confidence as you as a person, but also as a parent. You can really create a lot of self-doubt, which only then fuels that anxiety. And it can really cause a lot of confusion for a lot of parents, and also lead them to make decisions around maybe not expanding their families anymore, whereas before they would have thought they definitely would have wanted to. So if you're listening to this and a few of these things are resonating with you, what I would love for you to take away from this is that there is absolutely nothing wrong with you. There is nothing wrong with the way your body, your mind has been working since those events. And there is absolutely amazing support available out there, where everything you've gone through will be taken absolutely seriously. You'll feel validated, you'll feel held at your own pace and in a way that makes you feel like you're in the driving seat, you're in control. You can unpack what's happened to you, you can make sense of what's happened to you, you can even make peace of some of those details around what you've gone through. and you can have an in-depth understanding about how and why your nervous system reacted then and how it's reacting now. And you can absolutely move forward with your life. You can absolutely find joy and presence and a sense of connection with yourself, with your baby, with your loved ones. You can absolutely feel like yourself again, and really just feel like all of those emotions, all of those memories are in the past, and you can really be just feel empowered and ready to move forward with your life. So if you do feel like you could use some of that support, do reach out.